welcome back to Army Patriots. Welcome back to another video, and I am excited to be here because right now I've got a great topic that I'm really passionate about, and it kind of threw me for a loop and kind of was like a smack in the face when I first read this. And so I want to share it with you. It's been at least 13 years or so since I read this, maybe a little longer, almost going on 14 years ago that I actually read this for the first time. And this all comes from a book called The Servant by James C. Hunter. It's the simple story about true essence of leadership. Fantastic book. Like a lot of good books, it's really it's written in like kind of a novel format, so like a kind of a fictional story with all the really good details woven in. So if you're not a big reader, I recommend getting some of these kind of books to start if you want to start on some personal development stuff, because they make it really easy to read, really easy to pour through the content without getting bogged down into some kind of dry reading. And like, as much as I love reading personal development stuff, I can read through a book like this about 5 times faster than I can other books. So just a bit of a suggestion or a tip there if you want. There's a ton of them. If you've got any questions about where to start, pop a comment on this video, and we can I can send you a list of 5 easily to start with that fall into that category. Okay, so the topic of conversation today: 2 certainties in life, and taxes are not one of them. So if you've grown up in Western cultures, especially here in the United States, there's a really famous saying that says there's 2 certainties in life: death and taxes. Well, to an extent, that is pretty true. Death, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. Everyone dies at some point. Sorry if that just rocked your world, but that is the truth. We all die. Taxes, on the other hand, while many of us may feel like that, and if you are an employee, that's a certainty, because your employer takes out the taxes before you even see a dime. Think about it. If you're self-employed, you collect money. It's then up to you to pay those taxes to the government. So that leads into exactly where this is going. And the 2 certainties in life are death and choices. Okay, because if you're self-employed or a business owner, you have a choice whether you send that check to the IRS to pay those taxes, right? You don't have to do it. It's a choice that you make. Now, as you know, choices have consequences. Some are really good, cool things that you get rewards for making good choices. You get to have fun, you get financial rewards, you get relationship rewards, and everything else. But then there's going to be the negative consequences too. Fines for going too fast on a road, running red lights, talking on your cell phone when you're driving, hitting someone when you shouldn't have, and it's a pretty wide range, but you can get the idea that there are consequences, both good and bad, from your choices. Now, where I really want to focus, obviously, I'm not going to touch death because that's, is what it is. But choices, that is something that you have control over. And what this is going to mean when you think about choices in terms of, let's stick to business. Here at Army Patriots, we're really excited about helping veterans, active military, and their families get equipped to start their own business, be entrepreneurs, do things to change their path and direction, and not have to go down the usual path, maybe of law enforcement or something. Not, we love our law enforcement people as well, but that isn't the only choice you have. So what we want to teach you is some alternatives, and especially around the business side. So you have choices, you have opportunities to do that, and I've completely lost my train of thought with all that. Joys of live video. But we have a choice to do that. So with our business, we have a choice which way we go. We have a choice whether we make decisions in certain ways. And this is where I was going with it. Thank you. Got myself back on track. So what makes someone truly successful in all areas of their life, and even more so, maybe even in relationships with family and particularly family, but friends and everything as well, but in business as well, is the greater that you can think between an input or a stimulus and the response that you have. That is a choice. That response is a choice we have to that stimulus. So what I'm trying to say there is, if you can slow down the response time from that stimulus into you, through making maybe a better choice than you may instantly think that you have to make or you do make, that can make a massive difference in your life. For example, driving. Very good chance, if you're watching this, you drive or have driven at some point. Let's be honest, there are people on the road that probably shouldn't be out there at any given time, and they do things that tick us off, right? We get pissed off. They either drive too fast, they cut you off, they drive too slow, they're not paying attention, whatever it is. And their usual fast response is to get irritated at that person, maybe flip them off, try and yell, and who knows, there's varying levels of road rage, and there's a reason why it's called road rage, because it's a common thing. But there is a response that's almost natural and fast and unconscious that we have towards someone that's doing something that we perceive to be stupid, for want of better words, or maybe unsafe, especially when you're driving a motor vehicle. But if we stop, we get that response of someone's doing something that's unsafe or silly or careless or dangerous or whatever. We can slow down our thinking, and we don't know what's going on in that person's mind. Maybe they're rushing to the hospital because they've got a sick kid in the back. Maybe they're had a family member just die and they're just not concentrating. We just don't know what those situations are. So we need to stop and think. It's not necessarily that's a good excuse, but there may be circumstances that we're not aware of. And is it really that much value to ourselves, firstly, but in engaging that other person potentially in a negative way, is that going to bring anything good to the situation? Probably not, right? So, and that can then be, you can take that into any situation. Family is obviously one of the biggest ones. Overreacting or reacting in a hurtful way to your spouse, and I'll put my hand up first. That's an area I definitely need to be working on constantly. To your kids, when you're tired, you've been working long hours, or a lot's been going on, and they just will not stop or listen to what they're supposed to be doing, that can become, and responses and choices that are made, even on a subconscious level especially, can be quite detrimental to the relationship. So that's something I just want you to, if you can take one thing away from this, is just remember, you always have a choice in your response, even if you don't think you do, because on a subconscious level, we have become so programmed, for want of a better word, in the way we respond to certain things. And this goes back through probably decades or your entire life of how you responded, how you've seen other people respond, how your parents responded, and then you've learned those behaviors over time when you were a child, and other people around you that influenced you. And now, as you progressed into an adulthood and whatever, and coming forward, you've carried those on. So there is a time, right now is the best time for you to stop that pattern, if it's a negative pattern. Start to implement a slow down process so that you can make choices that are positive when maybe you normally are a bit hot-headed, a bit quick to anger or something like that. So remember, 2 certainties in life: death and choices, and we all have total control over the choices that we make each and every day. So thanks for tuning in. Check out armingpatriots.com to get onto our email list. We'd love to hear more from you. Make sure you've liked our page here as well. And we definitely will be pouring out more content for you. So leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Appreciate it if you've watched all this way through now. And I'll see you very soon. Okay, have a great day. Bye.